Hello everyone, we are back. Unfortunately, we had to nix my face cam for this particular run because we do have trackers on screen for this particular run, and we wanted some room for that. So these trackers are representative of the different things that we need to collect in 100%. First off, this is Antichamber. It is a classic puzzle game made by Alexander Bruce in 2013, very derivative of Portal and other games of that genre like The Witness, Superliminal, again the Portal series, and even if you're into games like the original Myst, or the Myst series, I highly recommend getting these kinds of games out. This is kind of like my bread and butter when it comes to speedrunning, and so yeah, that is another run of these that I'm going to be showing off for you guys today. So this is 100%, and what 100% really consists of is, first off, we need to collect the entire map, which is what we see right here. And you need to collect all 120 signs, which is represented by the blue tracker, the blue square tracker, up on the top left corner of the screen where my face cam would be, as well as there should be a map there where my face cam would be as well. And then we have to collect all 13 pink cubes where my at the bottom left corner of my game screen, and then the overall percentage is represented by the percentage at the bottom left corner of my game screen as well. So with that being said, we're just going to go straight into the run, and we're going to go I'm just going to have to restart from a fresh file, and you're going to see everything disappear. So as the game says, every journey is a series of choices. The first is to begin the journey, and you will begin that journey in 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing we want to do is jump straight down, and we're actually going to go straight and get the blue gun. The way that this game level is routed is we're going to try to get the red gun as fast as possible, because the red gun is the most OP. It does the most stuff, and we like doing stuff. Right now we're just going to get the blue gun, is the basic gun, and we also get introduced to pink cubes. This is the first pink cube of the run, and you have to get this pink cube first. You will not be able to come back and get this later. And so you have to get this pink cube. The pink cubes will only move if you are staring at them, and they will only be counted as collected once they have traveled to their destination. And there's 13 of those throughout the run. A lot of these puzzles in this game are based off of your spatial positioning and exactly where you're looking and where you are spaced in the level itself. And right here, there are these windows where if you cover your entire screen with what is in the window, you'll be transported to where the window is showing you. And one thing that I like to do here is make use of the trackers, and the moment that this next one turns into 11.6, we're going to move on to the next area. And you're going to be seeing me doing what I just did a lot, exiting to area and then selecting where I need to go from the main hub, because it is slightly faster to do that than it is to walk to where I need to go. And so sometimes you're actually forced to skip the main menu, go back to the hub in order to get to the next area, much like this particular section right here. And we're going to be seeing that a lot throughout the run. However, right here, we're just going to grab another sign trigger, and we're going to go get a staring contest with this particular, with this eye here. We need to stare at this eye for 15 seconds in order for it to blink, and then we can just go straight through to the other side. And we do have, ooh, okay, I messed up leapfrog here. We do have a particular skip for leapfrog, but I suck at it, so we're not going to be doing it today. And we're just going to try and get the green gun now. The green gun is a bit more useful than the red gun, and what the green gun does is allows us to grab more than one cube at a time and shoot more than one cube at a time. Right here, we're just going to do a glitch called lag glitch, where we go in and out of windowed mode in the game in order to skip hitting particular triggers. For example, this trigger, in order to open this door, like that. And what I'm doing is I'm going in and out of windowed mode by hitting F11. And as we can see right there, the game kind of introduces us to the concept of, like, if you have a hollow square and you complete the square, the game will fill up the rest of the square with cubes, and so you can generally generate infinite cubes with that method, but there is a faster way of doing that with the there's a faster way of doing that with the red gun that we're going to get later. Right now, we're going to be performing a warp. What we're going to be doing is just thankfully we got a first try. The game really doesn't like it when you essentially have you and a cube in the same space. What I just did right there, we're going to shoot a bunch of cubes, and then when we shot the cubes, it actually allowed us to keep those cubes in that particular space even when we quit the main menu. And those particular cubes were covering up a spawn point, and when we spawn back into the level, the game sees that we're actually in the same, sharing the same space as cubes, and so the game is just like, oh, we can't have you here. And so what the game does is it will kick you out instead of kicking the cubes out and back up in the main menu. We're going to be in this really weird state where you can kind of just transport to wherever you want to go by right-clicking on menus, including places you haven't been to before. And here is another instance of lag glitch. We now have the red gun that allows us to essentially create infinite guns as much as we'd like, infinite cubes as much as we'd like, really. And I accidentally took a screenshot there. Look at that. And right here, we're just going to grab this sign trigger at the end of this hallway and grab grab some of these cubes over here. And we're actually going to be forming tower clip. The tower clip is we're going to make a small tower of cubes a bit high, and then we're going to use them to push ourselves through this wall. And we're going to and what tower clip does is essentially it skips you see these towers numbered 1 through 7, and in the casual way of getting into each section of the tower is actually to solve a series of puzzles that get you to each particular section. However, what we're going to be doing is clipping through from tower 1 to tower 2, and then from tower 5 to tower 6 in order to skip some of those puzzle solving, because the actual physical level layout of the individual towers is right next to each other. We're going to walk forward in order to get a map trigger that we actually need to come back to later. We're going to manually move these guns through this particle field, because it will the particle fields will actually get rid of any of the cubes in our gun if we were to walk through them. Okay, looks like the game does not want to cooperate with me today. Let's see how long it's going to take for me to get tower clip number 2. Thank you. Twice. Okay. And right here is a good example of another glitch that we have where if you walk off a platform without having previously jumped, the game actually will store that jump in mid-air for you. And so you can just jump in mid-air. And another good example of that is actually right here, where we're just going to grab a cube, jump up, boom, and then we just barely got low enough to where the area above us is going to change. We're going to wait for it to go to 48.9, and then we're going to go to number 5, climbing the tower. And then we're going to use the mechanic that we got from the yellow gun, which is essentially moving cubes at will. And we're going to use the jump mechanic twice in order to get to this particular area right here. And we need to jump in this hallway so that the scene around us doesn't change, but then we want it to change right here. So we're just going to go here, and then we're going to go straight to just a little bit shy, and we're going to jump across here. We're going to do another instance of lag glitch, and then we're going to go over here to learning to draw. We're going to fill up these spaces at the very end right here in order to open up this wall. And then we're going to go back to learning to draw. We're going to grab all of these cubes in the center. And a funny thing about the mechanic that we got from the yellow gun is that the cubes actually don't have to follow an exact path. Those follow a general direction until, well, that's not the general direction that I want to go in. We're just going to follow a general direction until essentially the game, until they can't go in that direction anymore. So we use that in order to have in order to have the cube stop and fill up that laser, so we can fill up both lasers at the same time and open the door. And one thing that I didn't mention is cube chambering is the easiest glitch in this game, and all you have to do is right click, left click, and then let go of right click, and then you can actually store a cube in your gun even after you go through a particle field, but you can only do it with one cube at a time. Alright, and sometimes that particular puzzle doesn't want to be cooperative with me. Thank you. Wonderful. We're going to go to Managing Resources, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. And right here is actually where I like to talk about some of the reboundings that we have for this game. For example, I have F11 rebound to a particular mouse button, and scroll up is rebound to like grabbing the cubes, and scroll down is rebound to shooting the cubes. And so with all the and also escape, since you're constantly quitting the menu, is rebound to Q. And so one thing that we like to prioritize a lot in these speedruns is, you know, replayability. And so you wouldn't want to like replay a speedrun if you constantly had to like reach across your keyboard and then perform certain tricks. And so we really prioritize that in speedrun. And here is my favorite section, Logic 101, in which the game, this is actually the tutorial sequence of the game. And one thing that the game does is it actually color codes some of the cubes, and the way that the color coding works is that whatever color the cube is at this particular section, it is significant of the color of cubes that you technically are supposed to be having, or the color of the gun that you're technically supposed to have right now. So if the cubes are blue, it technically means we're supposed to have the blue gun right now, but we are OP and we got the red gun because we did some sequence breaking, and the red gun just does a lot more, and so it allows us to just get so much more done. Turn around here, we're going to get we're going to go back to don't look down, but we're going to look down anyway, you know. We're about halfway through the run, if you could believe it, and we're going to get into some harder movement and stuff. We're going to go up here to taking baby steps to get this sign, and we're actually going to grab a sign and map trigger up here that we're going to get later. Climb back down and get another pink cube, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th pink cube of the run. And then we're going to go to impossible paths. We're going to grab some cubes from and then we're going to go straight into, we're going to kind of make them into a bridge across the air, across WTF. And then we're going to use those same cubes, and we're going to use them as a wall to stop us, so we can solve the puzzle down here. And essentially, when you get rid of a cube and then another cube takes its place, the first cube will just never come back, and that's how we use to solve this puzzle in particular. So we can uncover all those lasers, and then we can open up this wall that will allow us to access a dev room. A dev room does not necessarily apply to the map. However, we do have a different dev room speedrun that gets all of the dev rooms. Some of the dev rooms don't apply to the 100% speedrun because they don't show up on the map, so they're not like counted as like collected per se. They're not a collectible that you can grab. Some of them. We're gonna grab this particular sign here. I'm just gonna grab this sign right here because I feel like I don't know why, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got it, but I was afraid that I didn't. And right here is a very fun sequence with a very cool movement. You're going to do a lot of up, down, and all around. You try and grab that particular that laser so we can go back up. And we're actually going to perform, hopefully, hub storage, but we're going to shoot a bunch of cubes and then immediately quit to menu, so that we can go to many different angles. We did so much hub storage, my god, that's great. And then we're going to cube chamber one cube through here, and we're gonna see it, and we're gonna try and grab some of these cubes through this through the seam of that particular area. I don't know why, but you can just grab cubes through there. We're gonna cube chamber a second cube through here, fill up both of these lasers, and then go immediately back to Stairway to Heaven. In this next area, we want one cube from the end of this hallway, and now we're going to perform Elevator Clip, which is as simple as it sounds. You just clip through an elevator. We want to grab one map trigger, and for whatever reason, if an elevator that you're on goes up, and you're being pushed against a cube, the cube will actually just push you through the elevator. And we're going to walk backwards here, We're going to walk up and get a map trigger as we collect some of these cubes that we're going to come back to much later. And we're going to get the 10th pink cube of the run. Yeah, the 10th pink cube of the run. The last 3 pink cubes are going to be reserved for like the little cleanup session that we're going to have after unlocking the last area of the game, where we just get all the remaining collectibles. And then we're going to grab this. And we're going to fill up these 2 cubes that they're building a tower cubes up to bring up here. We're going to use the jump glitch in order to get 84.6%. And we're going to get rid of all these cubes and launch ourselves upwards with that platform. Right here is a really good spot in the game in which it's really like difficult to like keep moving, but also be pretty accurate with your shots, because you know, you want to fill up these lasers and open these doors, but you don't want to stop moving while doing it. And so some of your shots have to be really precise while moving. We're going to go straight to too many lasers and turn around. We were at this area before, and these next 2 sections are actually kind of like the same puzzle. You're intended to solve these in different ways, because right here you're supposed to have the green gun instead of the red gun. And in the next section you're going to have the red gun as well. But they're really the same puzzle once you already have the red gun. And we're actually going to grab this cube, we're going to cube chamber with it, and we're going to walk, we're going to have this cube carry ourselves up. Oh, I've never had that happen before. That's the 3rd time today that I've never had something happen before in a speedrun. But we're just going to do things a bit backwards, and we're gonna move this. Oh my god, what is... Thank you. Okay, I don't know why that took so long. We're actually going to grab 1 cube, and we're going to the same thing that we wanted to do with the cube chambered cube, we're just going to do right here. We're going to have it carry ourselves upwards. And then, boom. And we're just going to go back and go to a loop that won't close. Again, this is kind of the same puzzle that we saw with the green cubes earlier, but of course, it's the same puzzle to us because we already have the red cube, and the cubes are positioned the same way. And thankfully, we did use the jump glitch to get past that particular section. Come on. Okay, and we're gonna fill up 3 walls of cubes right here in order to uncover all the lasers. 91.2% is exactly what we like to see. Then we're gonna grab 1 cube just ever so slightly that we can see throughout there, and then after getting 1 more sign trigger, we're going to go to learning to draw, and we're going to perform the 2nd warp of the run, in which it will allow us to skip the entire chase sequence that we have at the end of this level. So we're going to do... Ooh, dang, I didn't quit to menu. Okay, that's weird. We're going to try that again. We're going to go back to learning to draw. Boom. Then we're going to go straight to... Did that work? Ooh, that was close, but we're going to try again. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Did that work? That did in fact work. Thank goodness. We unfortunately didn't get hub storage, which is another thing that we wanted to get, but that just means that we're gonna have to do that backup for hub storage, which is a bit easier. It's not that difficult to do. We're gonna go up here to Crimea River. Essentially what hub storage is that whenever you shoot cubes out of your gun really fast towards a wall and then immediately quit to menu, sometimes the game will actually not register that you shot all the cubes already, and it will actually refund some of the cubes. And right here we only need 1 cube in order to get refunded. And so after this section, we're just going to go down this really long hallway in order to grab only 1 sign trigger that we're going to get. And theoretically, you could also use one of the cubes that we had to like cube chamber through here, and then like shoot some of the lasers to go and to open these doors ever so slightly early, like these ones right here. But oftentimes it's a bit hard to do and a bit precise. So we're going to go to over the edge right here. We're going to turn, and again, this is the cleanup section of the run that I mentioned earlier, where we're going to get the last few sign triggers, last few map triggers, and last few pink cubes. And and then we're going to go back to some of the places that we saw earlier and where we couldn't really optimally get some of these pink cubes. We're gonna get a pink cube right over here. Perfect. And then we're gonna get a map trigger through here, and this is actually a very interesting map trigger that we're gonna get because it requires us to bring some cubes through particle fields, right? And so you might be thinking, why don't you just cube chamber your way through here? However, the reason that we don't do that is because you need 2 cubes at the end of this hallway, and you can only cube chamber 1 cube at a time, and like you can't cube chamber when you're in the middle of one of these particle fields because the cube will immediately like just disappear, and so cube chambering in that particular sense is kind of useless because you have to manually move those cubes through the particle chamber or the particle field. And so right here, we're going to fill up this particular section, and right here is the longest pink cube of the run. It takes 90 seconds to get, and so if the host wants to say anything, he can start now. Right here. Alright, I'll take that as like, there's not much to say. But thank you so much to SpeedGaming for accepting essentially all of my runs, but just allowing me to choose which ones to show off during this very generous time period that you've given me. We still have one more run after this. It is super liminal. Both this run, Antichamber, and Super Liminal had an incentive that we are going to be seeing. This is 100%. We're going to be seeing the 80% incentive. That's really cool. And so, yeah, this is a pretty long cube. It's moments like this where you can kind of reflect on your life choices. Reflect on what you've done throughout the day. Reflect on the run itself. It looks like this is going to be a 21-minute time. I always get 21-minute times during marathons. I don't know what it is. Alright, now that we've collected the last pink cube, we're going to collect the last few map triggers and sign triggers in the game, And we're just going to jump through here. And you might have noticed in the opening section, the hub, that there was a timer. And behind that timer is the sign. And I hate to say this, but we actually do have to wait here for an hour and 8 minutes, so yeah, get comfortable, guys. I hope you're gonna be here. We're gonna be here for a while. No, but in all seriousness, we do have a way to go past this, and it is simply, crashing the game. Because why wouldn't it be? So the reason that we have to do that is because there is a timer with a sign behind it, and in order to get the timer sign, you can just clip out of the hub, and clip out of the hub next to where the timer is, and then the game will count as collected. However, once you clip out of the hub, you can't quit to menu to go back to the hub because the game already thinks you're in hub, so it forces you to actually exit the game. So right here is time 21:58. We love 21-minute times during marathons. We love to see it. But yeah, that is Antichamber 100%. That is a really good run. If after seeing, it's a really intense run as well, and I won't blame you if you understood none of it, because it was a really long time to explain, and so much to explain in such a little amount of time. So yeah, that is Antichamber 100%. We do have an 80% incentive that I believe that got met, so we're not done with this game quite yet. But let me just exit the game so that we can restart it, and so that we can restart this, and we can see what any percent looks like. And believe it or not, since we have the trackers on the screen, you're going to be able to see the exact percentage of what any percent is. So, of course, we're going to start from a fresh file. And timing will begin in 3, 2, 1, go. So any percent, we do 1 warp, and as I said earlier, the warps put you in a really strange state in which you can actually like just transport anywhere to where you want to go. So why don't we transport to the end of the game? Like, for real, why don't we just transport to the end of the game? Like, what's stopping us? What is truly stopping us? So we're just gonna grab, well, we have to grab a checkpoint right here, a map trigger right here, and then we're just gonna grab as much as we can from this particular section. And then if our aim is correct, we can just aim right here, and we got it first try, let's go. And then we can just aim right here, and then please, game. There we go. Now we're at the end of the game. Okay, perfect. All right, come on. Now we're at the end of the game. You know, because why would you warp anywhere except for, you know, just where the end of the game is? You can really warp to anywhere on the map, like actually anywhere. And timing will end once again in 3, 2, 1, go. 1 minute and 21 seconds. That is any percent, if you could believe it. But yeah, I am so glad that SpeedGaming allowed me to show off this game, because I really like this game. And so I'm hoping that more people can get into this category, especially since not a lot of people are in this category. So yeah, look us up on speedrun.com. Buy this game even if you want to do it casually. So yeah, the leaderboards are pretty filled. The Discord itself is not that large. But yeah, I hope that after seeing what I have to offer today, you'll pick this game up for yourself. I really hope that shout out to everyone in the Discord, California, the lead moderator of this particular, the moderator that's helped me a lot in this particular game. And so yeah, that'll be enough with me for this particular game. And I've been Ozmourn, and this has been Antichamber 100% and any percent. And I'll see you guys after a brief intermission, because we're not done yet. We still have one more to go, and that is Superliminal Glitchless. I will see you guys then.